Hey guys, Sublord here, back in with another action figure review, and today we'll be wrapping up my looks at the DC Multiverse Speed Metal Wave with the Collectabuild Darkest Night figure, or in Dragon Ball Z terms, Final Form Batman Who Laughs. That's this course brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, and since I never made a video talking about it, this is my Collectabuild figure of whatever year it came out. Pretty sure it came out in late 2022, if I'm not mistaken, which we had some bangers as far as Build-A-Figures go, or Collectabuild figures, excuse me, in 2022. I think we had the Frost King. I don't think we had the Joker bot from Batman Beyond, but we did have the Frost King, Starro, the Solomon Grundy that we will not be talking about for a while. I'm sure there were a few others. I've reviewed them on the channel. But yeah, man, this is a really cool looking figure, and I'm very excited to be taking a look at it. That said, this figure, of course, does not come with any accessories since it is a Collectabuild. Most Collectabuilds don't come with accessories, albeit for the Merciless and Frost King, who came with swords, and if you want to count them as accessories, the Joker bot did have some attachable wings. But this guy is just straight up a translucent purple monstrosity, abomination, and freak of nature, and I love it. I love it to pieces. This thing is awesome. Not the best construction-wise, but it's gangly. You know, it's better that it's kind of not so stiff here and there. That way it doesn't snap on you. And it is clear plastic also, so bringing him in. I guess what you could do is you could always throw the speed effects on him and make him look like he's surging with that type of stuff. But he already has like the flames on his legs and on his arms and on his back. You can see the way flames are sculpted. He's supposed to be kind of hunched like this. Now you can, of course, straighten him out and make him insanely tall, but the sculpt just doesn't really work like that. He has to have some kind of haunchness to him, so I always tend to leave him like that, fully hunched forward. Gives him a really creepy look, and just super crazy looking version of Batman Who Laughs. And the reason he looks like this is because Wonder Woman tried to bust his ass open with her chainsaw sword, and it didn't go very well. He turned into this instead of, I don't know, dying, I guess. That said, who is for a movie based off the Dark Knight's metal stuff? I sure am. I think that'd be awesome. But as far as articulation on this figure goes, he's got the double ball peg in the head. He's got some tilt. Lots of tilt. Up and down. He's got a hinged jaw, too, so you can see the yellow in his gaping maw there. They painted that. He's got like a flat, kind of demonic skull face going on, so that's pretty cool. He's got the long ears. Surprisingly not that warped out of package. I think this is how they came out of package. And I've had this guy in storage for a while, so they've held up quite nicely. Shoulders can go out to the side. They do rotate all the way around. This one was a little tight on mine. I used a little bit of filing and lubrication to loosen that up so it didn't stick when I went to turn it. Now it moves pretty smooth. Maybe I could have just let it sit and it would have worked itself out, but he's got time for that. He's got a bicep swivel, double elbow, which has got bonkers range. Like, he can bend all the way up. It's not the tightest thing ever, but again, look at how skinny his arms are. Do you want that to be that tight? Probably not. He does have just the swivel hinge wrists, which I'm okay with. Would have liked some alternate hands, maybe. Open claws, and then this one's a little bit more closed. Of course, the torso gets ridiculous range. It crunches all the way forward, pretty much. Back, not so much. Then it does have rotation. A little bit of tilt. Then the same thing down here in the waist. A little bit of tilt. You can see he's got the kind of pelvis thing going on there. And then his legs will kick out. This one is a little better than this one. He doesn't have this big kind of flame piece kind of blocking it. Now, if you could get that under the diaper, you could probably get that to work, but it doesn't really allow you to do that. There's no clearance, we'll say, to do that. but he can kick forward and back. Kick back, okay. Kick forward really far. Then he's got the thigh swivel, which, no, these aren't loose. That's actually the thigh swivel, and it works pretty well. And he's got a double knee. Crunch all the way up. Straightening it out. You can't straighten it out all the way. But he does stand okay, despite the fact that he's got really weird anatomy. He's got a rocker in the foot with a hinge, as well as toe joint, which is not too bad on that side. It's not too bad on either side, really. So, yeah, he is an awesome figure. He's not without his problems. I mean, he is a very odd design, so he is not going to be the most stable at times, but I've managed to be lucky with mine and getting him to stand. You can always throw a stand on him if you need it, but I haven't needed one. So I'm going to say you probably don't, but, you know, your mileage may vary. You might have a loose foot or something on yours. You'll have to use a stand, but at the end of the day, I freaking love this thing. I think he's awesome. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, man. So with that being said, I think it is now time that we move right along and straighten him out a little more. There we go. I think that's a little better. Yeah, that's a little better. Now I think it is time that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is our Darkest Night collectible figure alongside the entire Speed Metal wave. And if you are wondering, yes, you will need all 4 of these Speed Metal Speedsters to complete this purple monstrosity. We have the Speed Metal Barry Allen, Wally West, Wallace West, Kid Flash if I'm getting the name wrong, and Jay Garrett, my personal favorite of the wave, followed by Barry Allen, then probably the other 2 somewhere towards the end of the line, but rest assured, my favorite figure of the entire wave is, of course, going to be this Darkest Night collectible figure. I mean, this thing is freaking insane. Look at that thing. Of course, he is going to be much taller than this if you straighten him out and whatnot, but since he is sculpted to be kind of haunched, that's what we are doing here. So, getting all 4 speedsters out of the way. I mean, the Barry Allen and the Jay Garrett just take the term speed metal and crank it to 11, whereas these 2, the Kid Flash, is just kind of wearing their costume in a different color. That's not very interesting at all. That said, of course, can bring in our 2 regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus. Right there. And the infamous 11 Spawn, who's not towering over everyone today, but he isn't a collectible figure after all. Now, isn't he? Is he? Whatever. You know what I mean. This thing is freaking huge, and it's dwarfing good old Al Simmons here. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and if you're not a big fan of the Flash, I got bad news for you, because this thing is freaking awesome, and you need 4 Flash figures to build it. Yeah, that's kind of a swift kick in the balls, considering that this is the final form of ye old Batman Who Laughs Himself, and you gotta buy some really non-Batman related characters to get him, even though they are part of the whole Dark Knight's metal, Dark Knight's death metal, Dark Knight's speed metal, Dark Knight's whatever you want to call it metal thing. They're not Batman strictly characters, they're Flash characters, so I could see why that's a turnoff to a lot of people, but I will tell you that this is right up there with the Devastator, the Merciless, the original Batman Who Laughs figures, and some of the death metal stuff is one of the best offerings McFarlane Toys has ever put out from the Dark Knight's metal story arc. You gotta have this thing if you're looking to fully complete that collection, if you ask me anyways. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.